Hello friends, in this lesson we will learn how to lock layers and discuss the blending modes. When there are many layers in our Photoshop document, we can lock any layer in order to protect its properties. To learn the locking properties, open this file lesson 12 start page from your source document. Now the locking properties can be found here. In this lock panel, there are a few options to choose from. This first button is to lock the transparent pixels. For example, if I select this layer and lock its transparent pixels, see we have got this lock here. When we select this layer, the method of locking will be active. It means that the transparent pixels are locked. Let us see how. Now if I take a brush and try to paint on this layer, it will only paint on this bulb but not on the transparent pixels. These are called the transparent pixels. If I remove the lock, just click it again and the lock is removed. Now if I paint with my brush, it will paint on all the pixels. Let me undo. Another option is to lock the paint. If I activate this lock and try to paint, Photoshop will say that we could not use the brush tool because the layer is locked. That means the paint property is locked and we cannot paint on it. Now the next option is lock position or movement. If we activate this button and take move tool, it does not move the layer. It shows the error, could not use the move tool because the layer is locked. The last option is this lock all. It will lock all the properties of the layer, the transparent pixels, the painting and the position. So this is a very cool feature to lock very important information on a layer. In Photoshop CS6, we can apply these locking options to multiple layers. Control select or shift select as many layers as you want and apply the lock. In earlier versions, one had to lock the layers one at a time. Let us now see how to use the blend modes. The blend modes are here. For this, open these two files from your source folder, the Sunset and Champagne Pop Customized Beer. Let's take a selection of this beer bottle. Now to take the selection, take this quick selection tool. If you have an image whose background is white, it's really easy to select the object. Instead of selecting this object, we will select the white background. I'll increase the brush size and select the white background, and now I'll click Ctrl Shift and I on my keyboard. This will invert the selection. Now you can see it has inverted my selection. Instead of the white background, it has selected the bottle. Just check the details. You can see that this white portion is not selected. Reduce the brush size and select this as well. This is also selected, but I don't want this. Press Alt to change to this minus sign of the selection tool and click it. It will deselect it. Now that the bottle is selected, take your move tool and move this bottle from this tab to this tab and press Shift and drop it. Pressing Shift will place it into the center of the document. You can see that the size of the bottle is bigger. I'll decrease the size. I'll hold Shift and change the size. Holding Shift will change the size proportionately. Take the move tool and place it. Press enter to place it. It's always recommended to take a copy of the document you are working on. So this background we have got, let's make a copy by pressing Ctrl J and put the visibility off of this bottom layer. We can change the look of this scene just by changing the blend mode. Go to the blend mode, select normal. Now this blue box says that this box is active, and by just scrolling on your mouse wheel, you can change the blend mode and see which one suits you. See, the blend mode is changing and we can see the effect. Wherever you find the desired effect, I think I like this color dodge, or maybe I like this overlay. I think overlay is okay for me. Hit enter. Now take a copy. Now in this copy, the blend mode is again overlay. You can change this, may say to color dodge, or you can check for other options. Soft light, I like the soft light, but it is a bit bright, so I'll reduce the opacity. To reduce the opacity, go to this opacity and slide your mouse. It will reduce the opacity. I'll undo, and another way of reducing the opacity of a layer is just to click a number on your keyboard and it will bring that opacity to that number. I'm pressing 8, the opacity is 80%. I'm pressing 5, the opacity is 50%. Cool. Now I'll tell you a few blend modes which I most of the time use. For me they are the most important. I use this multiply, color burn, screen, linear dodge and overlay. Most of the time these do the job, else you can try other blend modes. That's all for this lesson, friends. See you in the next lesson.